Viewer discretion is advised.
This is Millie Weaver. We are here in Jefferson, Missouri, where at the Capitol, a law is going to be heard which will allow parental consent boards to decide whether or not they want to allow drag queen story hours at their public libraries.
Proposed legislation in Jefferson City would change the way that libraries determine what material is age appropriate for children.
Let's give some of the power back to the people in those communities, the parents in those communities, to weigh in on that process.
Protesters feel the story hour is a way to help children see positive role models who are part of the LGBTQ community and who feel the proposed legislation would only reinforce negative stereotypes.
Hey! This legislation's got to go!
Drag queen protesters decided to come out and protest this new bill. I decided to come out and cover it.
Do you like reading comics?
Girl, yes. Do you like reading comics, though? Oh my god, what are your favorite comics?
A Smile, and I like books of magic.
Before I show you this video and the events that transpired at this drag protest, I have to add a disclaimer. In no way is the video you're about to see anti-LGBTQ and meant to attack their community. This is merely a way to ask a valid question, which is, why are children being exposed to an adult sexualized lifestyle?
The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence defy all expectation with their unapologetic brand of humor.
Our appearances as canvases. Everyone is so afraid of humor and laughter. This is a joke.
It's not every day you see a man in a nun's habit with clown makeup on.
Hi. Hey, what are you guys out here for?
Who are you?
I'm Millie. Nice to meet you.
Millie from?
Millennial Millie on YouTube.
I don't know who you are.
Are you guys out here for the drag protest?
Who are you? What affiliation are you with?
I'm Millennial Millie. Yeah, I'm just asking what you guys are doing out here. I do have a press pass.
Okay, can I see it?
I don't have it on me at the moment.
That sucks.
We're out here in the public.
Yeah, I understand that.
So
Thanks.
Why are you guys out here protesting for the drag queen story time?
We're not protesting. We're not protesters.
Okay.
Check out our Facebook page. We're not protesters at all.
What are you guys doing?
That's, you know what? If you don't know,
cleaning up
then
for
you're
all of
not
us.
much of a journalist. So why don't you find your press pass, bring it back and share it with us.
Well, it said that there was going to be a drag protest today. It was going to be to protect drag
Please
queen
don't
story
record
time.
me, okay? I have no idea who you are, other than, you know, what you are.
Okay, goodbye. Oh, excuse
Lady,
you.
watch out. God.
Oh, excuse you.
Watch out. God.
She just assaulted me.
No, that was my bad. I'm sorry. I tripped her. I'm sorry.
Excuse you.
Watch out.
I'm just trying to move this. I'm sorry. I didn't
No, this is not the first time I've seen
I drove
people
all the
do
way
that
from
before.
Denver, so I'm like really tired.
So do you guys think that it's okay for there to be a stripper story hour? Would that be okay? I mean, to have a stripper story hour, or how about a porn star story hour? Do you guys understand why parents might be objecting to this? Were you guys out here for the drag queen story hour protest? Yeah. Okay, so would you guys think it's okay to have a stripper story hour? Why do you think parents are objecting to drag queen story hour? Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that they're adult entertainers?
No comment. You're just harassing these peaceful people here.
How do you think parents might react to a stripper story hour? Do you think parents might be just as objective to that?
Oh, you're gonna come and assault me? Really? You're gonna come assault me, dude?
Do you think parents might be just as objective to a stripper story hour?
No comment.
No?
No comment.
Why do you guys believe parents are objecting to
You're gonna
this?
come assault me again, dude? I didn't see anything. Oh, the camera sure did.
I didn't see anything.
I just want to know why do you guys feel, like really and truly, this is a sincere question, why do you feel parents are objecting to the drag queen story time?
No comment.
Why is drag queen story time so important?
No comment.
I mean, do you guys really think it's important to be reading stories to children?
You want to be escorted off property? We have a permit to be here. Do you?
I'm a
You have
member
a
of the
permit to be here?
public.
Can I see it, please? Can I see
Still
it?
the First Amendment.
No, it's not how it works, buddy.
It sure does.
It's not
It is how it works.
I have a press pass.
Do you have a press pass?
I am a member of the press. Yes, I am.
See your pass, please.
I'm a member of the
Can I see your press
USPA,
pass,
United
please?
States Press Agency. I don't
see
have
your
to
press
show.
pass,
I
please?
don't have to show you my press pass right now.
Do you have a card?
All of this.
Police,
So
footage you
Do you have a
assaulting
card?
me.
Me
How about
assaulting
that?
you?
Yeah, you assaulting me.
Go away, sweetheart.
Oh,
Go away.
go ahead.
So all of this is happening just because I'm asking very basic questions.
You are contributing with your
Drag
hate
queens
speech.
are adult entertainers. That's
They're
like saying
not. You
strippers are the
making
same
them
as
adult entertainers.
heterosexual
No,
women.
You are making them adult entertainers. They're not adult entertainers. There are drag queens that might be adult entertainers. There are drag queens that do story hour. There are humans that do reporting. There are humans that do police work. There are humans that do teaching. People have different jobs and different roles.
So it's a job. It's not a person. It's not a type of person.
It's part of our community, and you babbling on with hate speech, anti-LGBTQ stuff kills. Look at the Washington University study. When you spread this misinformation, this sexualization of our community, because statistically and research shows that y'all get turned on by LGBTQ, and that's why you sexualize. Go look up the studies. Facts aren't
That's
attacks.
insane.
It's not insane. Facts aren't attacks. Facts are real.
We're asking real questions.
I'm answering
Okay,
you
here.
with
Okay, so you just
Go look
said
up Washington
that drag
University
queens
study.
are a career.
Your anti-LGBTQ rhetoric absolutely kills. Your blood is on your hands. Go get therapy for your wet dreams, kiddo.
We haven't had any anti-LGBTQ rhetoric. We're simply asking why you think it's okay to have adult entertainers read story to children when we don't see porn stars wanting to have story times or strippers wanting to have children's story times at libraries. Why should we have drag queen story time?
Let's look at the fountain that they're doing this in front of. For real. Just look at the fountain. It's all little naked boys.
Not all LGBTQ people think it's appropriate to do the drag queen story time. So it's disingenuous to say that if you object to adult entertainers reading stories to kids and subjecting them to their lifestyles, that somehow that says that you're anti-LGBTQ. That is not true.
You're a freak, man.
Do you think it would be okay that parents would think it's okay to have a stripper story hour or a porn star story hour?
I think anybody that's reading to children and promoting literacy would be appropriate.
Okay, and promoting that lifestyle, that adult entertainment lifestyle?
Promoting literacy. Not. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing.
But do you think that parents would
literacy.
object to that? Like, hey, let's have strippers come and have a stripper time story hour?
I think it's if you're promoting literacy, which is at the heart of it. I don't see where the issue is.
Okay, so would you think that that was okay?
I think anybody that's reading to children, promoting literacy, is okay.
Okay,
Anyone.
and promoting that lifestyle is okay as well?
I would think so. I don't think
The lifestyle of an adult entertainer?
They're promoting literacy.
Why can't it be maybe an LGBTQ story hour or a trans story hour? Why does it need to be an adult entertainment lifestyle story hour?
Unfortunately, your attitude is bad. You should just be a nice person.
Yeah, okay. So look, they try to act all sweet, and there they go. The drag queens go in a school bus. Notice how, of all places, they chose to hold their drag queen story hour protest in front of these statues here. I mean, you literally have a man that's a centaur wrestling a snake in front of little naked boys. I mean, it's just kind of creepy, and it just speaks to the whole sexualization of children. It's just weird that they would have this in front of this bizarre art rather than anywhere else on this property. On the 10 Commandments, the last commandment there falls exactly under what these drag queens are doing with perverting other people's children. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's children and pervert them with creepy drag queen lifestyles that the liberals want to push on kids. Okay, so we got told that this is where the Drag Queen Story Hour people were all rallying and meeting up after their protest. So it's some back alley bar called Bones. Let's take a look. Get over here, there's a kid in there. Hey, so would you guys think it's okay to have a stripper time story hour?
No, but it's different than drag.
How?
Strippers actually show like pasties and more skin, where drag queens are just expressing themselves through their outfits.
Okay. But usually drag is a very sexualized adult entertainment
But it doesn't
show.
have to be. There are certain times like it doesn't have to be.
Okay. So what about
and it doesn't have to be associated with that. It's people expressing themselves.
Do you think adult entertainers with the names Cunty Hornet, Macy Some Cox, do you think that people like that should be broadcasting their name and performing in front of little children?
I don't think that they would say the entire name.
They have. I've got it on video.
Where's the video?
I actually do story time with drag queens in Chicago, right? Yes, family programming. Please welcome to the stage, Cunty Hornet!
It's up on my YouTube channel, Millennial Millie.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and they had little kids performing there, doing drag, taking clothes off, not to nakedness, but taking clothes off. And they also had drag queens twerking on the floor in nothing but nylons in little tiny hoochie booty shorts in front of kids. I mean, do you think that this is appropriate behavior in front of children?
I grew up in the community and I grew up perfectly fine.
Okay. But do you think that's over-sexualization?
I think that people should live and let live, right? If I have a child, I get to determine what that child does. Whether that's eat healthy or not, whether that is see something that I find is okay or not, whatever show they watch, wherever they go, that's my child.
But do you really think it's appropriate to be having drag queens perform story times to children?
I grew up in this community from a very young age in the drag community, and I had my 16th birthday at a cabaret. Fuck yeah, I had fun, and I grew up perfectly fine.
Okay, so what's the difference between a drag queen and somebody that's trans?
That's an irrelevant question. That is not what we're here to talk about.
Is there a difference between a trans person and a drag queen?
It's people expressing themselves however they want.
That does not relate to this build-in conversation at all.
Okay. Well, it's important because there are drag queens that are not transgender and that are not gay.
Don't talk to them.
Excuse you, you're the one coming over towards me.
Please don't talk to them because they'll just edit it for their own advantage.
Do you think it's appropriate to be having children? Do you think that stripper time story hour would be appropriate? Don't touch me. Get your hand off of me.
Don't touch her, dude.
Don't you touch me.
Get back inside. Get back inside. Everyone.
Okay, so they're putting their tasers on. Did you know that brandishing a taser like that is a crime? All right.
Bye, Millie.
Do you think it's okay to have a stripper story time?
Yes.
You think a stripper story hour is appropriate for kids?
We're going in. You look like you'd be a great one.
Yeah.
You don't. Were they?
No, we're just asking questions.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, you want to ask a question? Okay. So, do you think it would be appropriate to have a stripper story hour?
I don't know.
Adult entertainers.
Why not? Why not?
Okay.
I used to work at a strip club. There were some good people. So,
Okay.
What's your issue with the drag queen story hour?
Well, you see, drag queens are adult entertainers. They typically perform at clubs. I mean, drag queens will have names like Cunty Hornet, Macy Some Cox, Muffy Fish Basket. It goes on. They typically, they have all kinds of over-sexualized names. Do you think that it's appropriate to have adult entertainers exposing their lifestyle to children.
What if I told you that I actually am on the fence? So, you know, I'm a supporter of LGBTQ. I'm a supporter of rights for everybody. But this is something that personally I'm quite unsure about myself. I feel that as a black man, as a minority, I don't really have a lot of leeway to give in terms of anyone losing any right to do anything. The unfortunate situation is that in this country, if you give an inch, then a mile is taken, right? So right now, if the issue is to be able to lawfully ban drag queens, right? It's not a far stretch to say, next week we're gonna lawfully ban blacks or lawfully ban Muslims or lawfully ban women. So right now, you guys are focusing on Drag Queen Story Hour. But that is just one leg of a centipede that down the road, historically, people on the right tend to find ways to ban other people. So although I personally don't have a lot of information or a lot of thought as to whether it's right or wrong, on the surface of banning anyone for any reason, I personally can't support that. And I have to be here and stand in solidarity with these people.
Well, here's the difference between that. You're black and you cannot change that. That is the color of your skin. A drag queen is more akin to a profession or a career. It's more like a job. No one's objecting to a transgender story hour or an LGBTQ story hour or even a women's story hour, right, opposed to like stripper story hour. People are in opposition to a lifestyle career being promoted to children. So you can't really compare it to something like your race or your sexuality because it's more like a career choice and a lifestyle choice.
Okay, and so in a vacuum, I kind of agree with a lot of what you're saying, but you're missing the point on the legality and the moral rightness of banning anything for any reason, such as the things that we're talking about. So I appreciate your being out here, and I support your right to do that. I spent 6 years in the military fighting for you to stand out here just as much as I did for these people to stand here, but that's my take on it, and I hope that it's a respectful opinion.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you respectfully sharing your opinion and interviewing. I hope others can take a lesson from how you are, because we can respectfully have disagreeing opinions, but also share and communicate differing ideas.
The
so I
second
appreciate
you guys
that.
try and shout her down, then we look like the people that are not worthy of having their opinions heard. Right?
Your questions have been very offensive, personally directed, offensive to people.
Offense is taken, it's not given. Offense is taken. I'm just asking questions that people want to know. There's a lot of people in America that have these same questions they want to hear from people that are supporting this.
Oh, I'm cut out.
You're so tall.
I just don't understand what the fixation is on the kids, why they have to have these story times with kids. No one would care if they're wanting to go do this in bars like they have been for the past couple decades. Nobody cared. We care when they're bringing it into schools with kids. We would care if females were wanting to have stripper story hour. We would care if anyone of any sexuality, gender, whatever, was wanting to have porn star story hour. Parents care when you're introducing children to adult lifestyles. It has nothing about being anti-LGBTQ. It's everything about protecting children. And you guys better realize that there are many LGBTQ people out there that think that Drag Queen Story Hour is entirely inappropriate. You guys better back off the kids. Back off the kids.
I have another message for heterosexual women. The ones who have children. I have no idea why you want drag queens to read books to your children. I have no idea. What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much?
That if you're sucking a dick for Jesus, that make sure you don't come off.
It automatically uploads.
So here we go. Are you ready?
And so she get like, do it. Do it.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
No lipstick transfer, honey.
Amazing.
Other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults. There is a lot of filth that goes on, a lot of sexual stuff that goes on. And backstage, there's a lot of nudity, sex, and drugs. Okay? So I don't think that this is an avenue you would want your child to explore.
Let's go talk to some of these Missourians and see how they feel about Drag Queen Story Hour and if they would feel different if it were Stripper Story Hour. Let's go see what they have to say. How do you guys feel about the Drag Queen Story Hour?
I know nothing about it, actually.
It's where drag queens read stories to children in the public library and in their attire and kind of promote some of their lifestyle.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I've never really thought about that.
I don't even know what that is.
It's where drag queens read stories to the kids up at the library in drag.
Oh, no.
I don't know what that is, to be honest.
We're not from Jeff City. Oh, it's the drag queens reading stories to kids at the library.
Oh, I like that.
That's fun.
Shit is fucking weird. If y'all don't mind me saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but I think that is kind of weird. You should be put under the jail.
How do you feel about that? Do you know what drag queens are? They're adult performers?
Yes, they're males dressing as women.
Yeah. And they're reading the stories to the children and kind of promoting being a drag queen to them. Do you think that that's appropriate?
No, I don't. Me having grandchildren, no. I wouldn't want my grandbabies sitting in front of that.
I don't know how many people would bring their kids to see that, to be honest, would be something that I think they should think about a little bit with that.
I don't know. My first reaction would be if they're too young maybe to metabolize that information.
So what do you think about this new law they're trying to pass here up at the Capitol? Some drag queens were out there protesting it today. The new law would make a parental consent board so that parents on this board could decide whether or not they think having a drag queen story hour is appropriate. So essentially, in a way, it might make it harder for the drag queens to do their story hour.
I think that's appropriate. Yeah, I would vote for that because the parents should have a say so.
Like, I don't think they're at the right age to make that decision for themselves. So, I mean, that would be the only right course of action would be to ask the parents' consent.
I think parents ought to police where their kids are and what they hear and what they're exposed to. So, yeah.
Do you ever take your grandkids there?
When I see them, yeah, I like to take them upstairs. And if I seen something like that, I would turn my grandchildren the other way.
This is messed up. You make their own choices, you know, so you having kids out here just making choices off of adults. It's kind of weird, you know.
How would you feel about a stripper story time hour?
Same. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more of an adult genre, not a children's genre.
If this is a woman who's, makes her living doing that, but goes home and is a model mother and works in the PTA and doesn't strip for the kids, then it might be all right.
Well, no one's saying anyone's judging anyone for being a drag queen or being a stripper. Somebody could read a story to kids and the kids not even know that they're a stripper or know that they're a drag queen.
If they're promoting it.
Yeah, that's what we're asking. Should they be promoting that to kids?
I don't know. My first reaction would be if they're too young maybe to metabolize that information.
I've just seen too many things on TV and Facebook that I want to make sure that I know they're promoting it. I am against them promoting it completely.
Would you think that stripper time story hour would be appropriate?
No.
How would you feel about a stripper story time?
It's wrong. It's wrong. It's like you watching porn with your brother or your sister.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
When it comes to rebuilding your energy, convenience is key. While coffee, candy, and other sugary products can give you a short boost, the crash can leave you more tired than ever. Turbo Force from InfoWars Life is a powerful mix-in energy packet that utilizes vitamins, amino acids, and extracts used for hundreds of years to provide you focus, clarity, and a boost of energy on the go. Simply take a packet, mix it into the indicated amount of water, and enjoy. With 14 servings per box for a 2-week or more supply, this is the formula to stock up on whenever you need a boost. Perfect for work, in the car, or at home. Turbo Force is the ultimate answer to a sluggish day. Don't let your day slow you down. Perk up with Turbo Force at InfoWarsStore.com.